Hello guys, and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. So guys, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut this blouse with a cut together sleeve, that's with an extended sleeve. So a yoke with a yoke and an extended sleeve. So in this first video, we're going to be doing the drafting and then the cutting, and then in a second video that I'm going to be posting within the week, we are going to do the sewing. So it is a simple process, so I don't want to rush it, so that is why I am just taking my time to do this. Okay, so now let's get started. So I'm just trying to label all the lines on my pattern paper. So the first line we have there, so I'll just speak as I go. This is the shoulder line. You are going to add your shoulder measurement, divide by 2, and then you add your you add your allowance. So from that allowance, you come down by 1 inch and then create an extension for that's it. You slope it to the neckline, and then from that point I'm going to measure the armhole. So for the armhole, I'm using 7.5, that's round armhole. So from that point, I'm just going to curve it, so you can see the measurement that I'm making use of on the screen. So those are the measurements. So from that point now, the next thing we are going to do, okay guys, so the next thing now, we're going to add our bust circumference, divide by 4. So I'll divide that bust circumference 36 by 4, and then I'll add 1 inch for my allowance, and then add 2 inches for my stitching allowance. So I'll come to the under bust, I'll add my under bust measurement, divide by 4, and then I'll add my stitching allowance and then my dart allowance, and then I'll just connect them. So mind you, I'm drafting the back first. So the next thing, I'll come to the waist part. I'm going to add my waist circumference, divide by 4, and then I'll add my 1 inch allowance and then the stitching allowance. I'll come to the hem of my blouse. So because if you notice the style of that blouse, you need the hem measurement so it fits properly. You divide that by 4, add your stitching allowance and then your that intake, and then when you are done, you will just curve out everything like this, so you can see how I am trying to do that. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take out our dart. So for the dart, remember I used 1 inch for our dart. So for the dart, we're using a bust span of 4.5. So that's the position where you position the dart, for those of you that don't know, for beginners. So when you mark that, you are going to rule it down straight like this, and then from that point you come to your waist measurement. You take half inch to the two side, that's half inch, because we're taking out a dart of 1 inch. So when you take that, you're just going to blend that into that line like that, and then make sure that it does not take out any inches from the bust line. Okay, so you can see what we're taking out is from the dart, is from the waist. So from that point now, I am going to extend this part. So why am I extending it? Because I want to use it as my yoke. Okay, so from that yoke point, I'm going to mark my neckline of about 3.5 inches width, and then I'll come down by 3 inches. So basically, I'm taking 3 by 3. So I might change the neckline later during the course of the sewing, but let me just take this first. This is just like basic or standard. And then now for the sleeve measurement, I'm going to extend this shoulder line. Okay, so I'm going to extend. So this yoke, we're still going to work on the yoke, but for now, let's just do it this way. So I'll extend it by 3 inches. I extended it by 3 inches and then create out that slope. So I just created the slope, just extended the shoulder slope, and then from that point, yes, and from that point I just created my line. So just marked that up, that's all. So the next thing, I'm just trying to check, to double check the length of the dart. Okay, so I'm just checking to make sure that the 3 inches that I use is okay. So I can reduce it. Like I said, we'll still work on the dart, on this extension later. But for now, let's just cut out the yoke, and then I'll just set it aside. I'll just set it aside. So we'll still come back and work on this. So that's it. And then I'll cut out the main bodies. So for my back, and this is the back piece, like I said. So the next thing we are going to do the front. So this is the front. I have all of my lines, my shoulder line, my bust point, my under bust, my waist, and then the full length. So I'll come back to this line again. I'll mark my shoulder measurement, divide by 4. I'll come down by 1 inch. I'll just extend it for our shoulder slope. And then from that point, I'll mark my round armhole measurement. So I'm using 7.5. I'll mark it that way. And then from that point, I am just going to mark it like this, and then I'll create an extension. Just create that line for me to create out the round curve. Okay, so from this point, I'll take my round armhole measurement, divide that by 2, and then you place it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now, I want to create out the bust here. So for the bust here, I'm using my bust point. Remember, I used 4.5 initially. So I'm going to mark on all of these lines. I'm going to mark the 4.5 inches. I'm going to mark all of them down straight. Okay, so you can see the way I'm marking them. So when I finish marking them, I'm going to use a straight ruler. I will join them, just connect the lines together before we continue. So after connecting the lines together, I want to take out a dart of about 3 inches. Initially, I wanted to do 2 inches or do the dart on one side. So I'm just trying to label all of the lines now so that you can see them properly. Okay, so I'll come to that point under bust, and then I'm going to use 1.5 inches. So like I said, I'll take 1.5 inches to my right, and then I'll take 1.5 inches to my left. So at this point, I was still trying to contemplate if I should put the whole dart on one side or if I should share it on both sides. Okay, so like I said, for those of you that have been watching my live stream, when you are making a dress, you need to know the pattern that you will use. So we have different various types of pattern, but you can just take a look at it. Okay, so let's continue. So from this point, I'm going to extend this by 1 inch up there. So after extending it up there, I'll just mark it that way, and then I'll mark it. So this is going to serve as that my yoke line. Okay, so from that point, I'm going to take 0.75 to one side and then 0.75 to the other side. So this is for my tightening of the chest area, and then I'm just going to blend it, just connect it. Can you see the way I'm connecting it? I'll just connect it like this to create out the bust here. Just so that is the essence of this. And then the next thing, I'm going to extend. So I want to create the neckline. So for the neckline, I came down by half of an inch or so because I really did not want it to be too deep. And then from that point, I just used my curve, just curve it down round like this. Okay, and then from this part also, I'll curve it down. Okay, so later I'm still going to work on this part. I later found that I actually wanted it to come up higher, so I'm still going to take it up. So we'll work on that later. So I'll just extend my dart legs. I'll just extend them down this way. Okay, so like I said, for that part, I extended it back. I actually I actually wanted it. Okay, before then, I'll take out my full body measurement, my bust circumference divide by 4. I'll add my 3 inches allowance and then add for the dart and then add stitching allowance. I'll come to the waistline. I will divide my waist measurement into 4. So the waist measurement I'm using is 30. I'll add it and then add that intake and then add stitching allowance. So I would just connect those two lines first because I always like doing that. I'll just connect it before I continue, so I'll know if I'm on course online or not. So I would continue like this and then add my stitching allowance. So and then I'll come to the waist, divide the waist, that's the hem, by 4, add my 3 inches that, and then add stitching allowance. So when I am done, I will connect those lines together. So I'll just make sure that I am connecting them together like this, so you can see. So when you connect them together, you see the shape will come out. So this part, like I said, I wanted to take it up a little bit more. So what I did from that point, so I just came up back. So that's, I wanted my yoke to be high, so I came up back. So like I added like an extra 1 inch, so and then extended this line. Okay, so if you want to do it the way I did it the first time, is okay, you can do that. But why I did this, I added this extra line, is because I wanted my yoke, I did not want my cleavage to be showing. Okay, so that is why I did that. So I am just trying to blend it. All of these are the things that I did before, so I'm just trying to blend it. Okay, so you can see, so that those that intake, that tightening at the top, I'm extending the lines back, because since I added an extra 1 inch, so I'm extending the lines back. So that is what I did, and then I curved this part. So at the end of the day, I came up with about like 2.5 inches, because I wanted my chest to be well covered. Okay, so that's it. So the next thing for my that sorry, the next thing for my, for the shoulder part, the area, shoulder part of the area. So I wanted to cut it, and now realized that I've not extended the shoulder, because it is an extended shoulder sleeve yoke. So that's it. Yes, extended shoulder sleeve yoke. So I extended by 3 inches, and then just curve that in. So later, like I said, we'll work on it together. We'll know what we're going to use, if we'll reduce it or add to it. So you can see I've added that extra. So now when I'm cutting my yoke now, when I cut my yoke, the yoke is going to carry sleeve. You understand? It's just going to come down a little bit like that. So I'll just cut that off right now, and then cut this part off for the main body. So like I said, in this video we're doing the sewing, we're doing the cutting. In the next video I'll show you guys how to sew, how to stitch this up. It's a very simple process. So if you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button. I've not said that since I was supposed to have said it. Like the video, share my video, share it with your friends and your colleagues. If you have questions, you can drop your questions on the comment section. I'll do well to reply and respond to you guys. So these are all of my pieces. So guys, thank you so much for watching. So I'm just trying to place them to make sure that everything is okay. Yes, they look okay. And then these are the fabrics that I'm going to be making use of. So this is the lace that I'll use for the yoke and that part. So guys, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Love you.